Alright everyone, and welcome into this quick live update on today's severe weather risk. It is my morning update and briefing. We've got dangerous tornadoes possible later today. This is just going to be a quick 5-minute clip for us here that you can watch later as well. If you have any questions and you're on here live right now, you can also tune into the chat and just leave any comments there. Now we're going to start off here, and I'm going to change on over to where you can see exactly what I'm showing you on my screen. We're going to change on over to today's severe weather risk, and it's a level 3 here from far eastern Texas on over through central, especially south central Mississippi for us here. This does include areas of Jackson, Mississippi, Monroe, Louisiana, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as Vicksburg, Mississippi. So these areas you need to be really weather aware today. But even in the slight risk zone from eastern Texas this morning on over to western Alabama tonight, especially in Alabama where you'll have that nocturnal threat, I'd watch out there. All the way on over to far southeastern Missouri is where we have that level 1 threat. Now, ingredients that we look for when we're talking about severe weather is the following. We're looking for dew points. Okay, we're looking at moisture in the atmosphere. We've got plenty of this. These blue colors and these purples indicating dew points in the 60s, even near 70 in some of those purples. That is really indicative of high moisture content, meaning the severe weather risk is on the increase for today. There's plenty of moisture for these storms to work with. One thing I want to also break down real quick is how this trough, which is along the subtropical jet stream, notice how it looks like this right now. Pretty much just a flat, a zonal flow with the jet stream where it's not really curved very much. But as the day goes on, look at how this trough, right, I'm gonna circle the area where this is gonna happen in this zone. Look at how the trough basically starts twisting back in the other direction a little bit. You could see it there. It begins to, instead of moving like this, it starts moving like that, and that means that it's trying to turn into a negatively tilted trough. It's not going to completely do that, but that really shows the strengthening of that trough, which means the increase of that chance of severe weather. And then with your significant tornado parameter that comes as a result of all of these ingredients together, we're looking at this thin area, but it is an area of 2 to 4 in that significant tornado parameter, and it goes all the way on up to about 10. So this is not the highest you can get, but it's getting close to halfway up the scale. That's with all the ingredients available. And remember, we're in the fall. Getting close to winter. We're a month out from winter, and we're talking about a severe weather event. So to have this much energy in place as we begin to cool temperatures on down, that's pretty shocking, which is why this needs to be taken seriously, especially with the models I'm about to show you real quick right here. This is your HRRR model from this morning, just ran a few hours ago. You can see as we make our way towards the middle of this morning, we're going to see these storms begin to fire on off in the Arklatex region. In this area, that's where I'm anticipating the potential for some damaging wind gusts as well as some large hail. And in this area right here, this is where we're going to begin to see the chance of some tornadoes transpire even this morning in some of these, kinks ahead and embedded in that line. Again, your Storm Prediction Center, here's your tornado risk today. It's a hatched risk in that area that in yellow on your screen. That means that there's a 10% chance of an EF2 or greater tornado within 25 miles of a point. So within 25 miles of you, there is a 1 in 10 chance that there's going to be a tornado within 25 miles of you. There's a 1 in 10 shot in that. So keep that in mind. Northern Louisiana, watch out. It's going to be a very rough ride this afternoon. You can see, again, some of these embedded cells in the line could be producing tornadoes. And then we've also got a few out ahead of the line that need to be monitored as they make their way on off towards the northeast. So at the start, we've kind of got two areas, these cells out ahead of the line, and then the line with damaging winds, embedded tornadoes, and some hail. These cells will pretty much only be tornado producers if they're out ahead of the line. Notice all the way on up to Memphis, some very heavy rain, maybe some flooding, as well as a chance for an embedded tornado and gusty winds there. Notice how the line pretty much sucks up all of these cells, but that doesn't mean their energy is completely gone. So places like Jackson, Mississippi, you really mainly have to worry about this line towards the evening hours. But still, there will be some embedded kinks right along the front edge of that line, and that's where the tornadoes could form. This does transpire into a little bit more of a damaging wind event, though, as it moves eastward this evening. You can see parts of northern Mississippi, northern Alabama getting in on this. And then, some of these cells all the way, especially at the southern end of this line, would be where I would be watching for embedded kinks and embedded tornadoes later today. And then as this continues moving eastward, we really see this form again, a lot more of a line segment with less of the cells out ahead of it. but even towards places like Birmingham, Montgomery, down to Mobile, Alabama, and the far western Florida Panhandle. This is a nighttime threat, so be ready for the chance of a tornado watch or severe thunderstorm watch to be put in place even there as these cells move off towards the east. And tomorrow, our severe weather risk is going to be in this area that I just highlighted there, but the marginal risk is going to go all the way on up to the Carolinas. So that's what I've got for you here in this morning briefing. Thank you so much to anybody who's on here and has tuned in, but do not worry if you're watching this later. It has all the latest updates you need to know on today's severe weather threat. Thank you so much for watching, everyone.